Hello, hello, hello. I feel like singing my good morning song, but it's not morning, so I can't sing it anymore. Maybe I can sing something else like, it's me first, it's me first, it's me first. I don't know, maybe. I don't know. We'll keep trying. Anyway, welcome to Me First TV. My name is Patricia Rivera-Wolfson, and I'm a coach and energy practitioner who helps people simplify transformation through the Me First method, which I developed over the last 12 years. I've used this method personally and also with clients, and let me tell you, it certainly helps to move through challenging times. Me First is a practice. You know, transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's not a one and done job. There's no magic pill. There's no manifesting trick. There's no spiritual or healing tool that will eliminate years and years of conditioning and energetic patterns. Sorry to break it to you. So my mission is to help you keep practicing, because that's really what we need to do, is practice, right? And I will keep showing up here to encourage you to keep working on your mindset, talking about how to make small changes, and I will continue to remind you to practice becoming the person who you need to be in order to deal with the challenges that you're facing. You do this one choice, one decision, one moment, and one action at a time. And today's episode is about how to accept full responsibility for what is in your control and releasing anything that is not. Okay, that's what we're working on today. Hold on, let me open up my chat because I can't see. Let me know if you're listening, please. Say hello, hello, hello. Okay, so life will challenge you. No matter how connected you are, how spiritual you are, no matter how much money you have or connections you have or how good a person you are, shit happens. And whether or not you can track life's consequences down to decisions that you've made, there are plenty of things that are out of your control. And even the things that are within your control, you may not realize it until after you're already dealing with the consequences of those choices or actions. So to carry guilt or shame around that is really irrelevant and of no use to you. It does not help you in any way. It does not help you evolve as a person. So that being said, what I want to offer you today is a way to look at things so you don't waste your precious time trying to solve problems that are out of your control, or wasting your energy worrying about things that you can't do anything about right now, because there's certain things that you can't do anything about right now. And more importantly, I want to talk to you about where you can put your energy that will be helpful and will continue to move things in a positive or a productive direction with your deepest desires and in alignment with your highest good. Okay, but first, before we continue, please go ahead and subscribe now to my YouTube channel, Me First Moments. Just go right to YouTube, Me First Moments, and ding that bell so that you will continue to get notifications of when I have a new video up. And don't forget to subscribe to my free gift. This free Me First quick reference guide includes how to calibrate your energy, my Me First mornings ritual, which we do here on the show, a quick GPS activity, your daily ABCs, and a simple guide to managing stress. Now, for those things that you don't understand what I'm talking about, the quick guide will just talk you through a bunch of things, and it's a way to calibrate your energy. It's a way to keep practicing. It's like just a little reference guide so that you can quickly get yourself calibrated, or that's how I like to say it. And also, don't forget to follow me on any of the social media pages. On Facebook, you'll find me at Me First Moments. Instagram, you'll find me at Patricia Rivera-Wolfson, and TikTok also at Me First Moments. And you can see all of that in the description here under the video if you need. Please feel free to follow and share this with anyone else who you think may benefit from the content. Okay, so let's begin our Me First morning routine. We're going to open this up with our usual. We're going to take a couple of deep breaths. I didn't bring it. Oh, I do have a candle. Now, do I have a lighter? Do I have a lighter? No, I do not. Okay, so we won't be lighting a candle today. It happens. All right, so let's just get some essential oils. I like this because it helps sort of set the tone for me, but you don't need essential oils. I don't always use them. I use them every day, but I don't always use them on the show. Okay, so that just sort of sets me in the right place. And I want us to now we are going to take 3 deep breaths together. We're going to take a deep breath in, we're going to hold it for 5 seconds, and then we are going to release for 10 seconds. This breathing, which we will do 3 times, will help to regulate our nervous system, will help send a signal to our body saying everything's okay, so that we can relax and get ourselves a little bit grounded before we start this work together. Okay, so here we go. Deep breath in. Hold. And release. Now the key is allowing that exhale to be longer than the inhale. That signals to your body that you are okay and you are safe. That is a physiological signal. All right, let's do that again. One more time. Breathe in and hold and release. Okay, last deep breath, one more. Hold and release. Okay, very good. Now we're going to do a little bit of stretching. Now when I'm doing this on my own, one of the things that I will be standing, when I do this on my own, when I'm trying to calibrate my own energy, I will stand and move my body and stretch. And what I want you to do, and of course you can do yoga, I talk about that all the time. You can do any type of stretching. The idea is to get your body moving. It's to release any of that stuck, stagnant, stiff energy, like where you have stiffness, where where you have aches and pains. We want to kind of release that energy, right? Where you have aches and pains, there's tension. There's stuck energy in those spots. So we want to try and stretch and breathe and move that energy and bring it out to be released. Whoa! I just knocked the whole thing down over here. That's okay, we don't need it. Okay, so after we do that, I'm just shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Something that I like to do if you have a backyard or if you're near earth, grass, go outside, stick your feet in the grass, and just jump up and down, literally just like boom, 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 and allow your body to release whatever that stuck, stagnant energy is into the ground and just let the earth transmute it into whatever it needs to be, right? Just like we put manure in the garden as fertilizer, our old energy that we shake off, the earth, Mother Earth, will take that and put it to use and transmute it into beautiful energy, okay? All right, so now let's set our intentions with a prayer. One of the prayers that I say when we say this together. I do this on my own every single day. And let me tell you, I want to say as a side note, when I started doing Me First mornings, I wasn't doing my routine every single day. I would do it when I could. And I've been practicing this routine since I started the Me First mornings originally, which was about 3-4 years ago. And so in that time, I have continually practiced doing this routine when I think about it, when I needed to regulate my emotions. I made it slowly. I practiced making it a priority. And so I do this with you because I want you guys to do the same thing. Now, it may not be this routine. It may be a completely different routine, and that's okay. You do whatever works for you. The idea is you want to take whatever steps you can take to bring yourself into a centered place, into a grounded place, so that you are sure of who you are. You want to tune your instrument first. And so these little things that we do together, it's like a tuning of the instrument. It's quick tune. There's definitely ways that you can go deeper into that attunement. But for now, this is enough to get you into a place and more prepared to face the day than anything else if you're not doing anything, right? Like if you're not doing anything, you're just getting up and rushing off to your day, you may not be having the kind of day that you really want, and then you're not able to apply the tools and strategies appropriately because you haven't grounded yourself, you haven't set yourself up. It's like running out of the house without clothes, right? Like first you have to dress yourself, then you leave, right? I mean, you don't have to, I'm not going to judge you, but you might get arrested. All right. Okay, so let's set our intentions. Divine Mother, Infinite Father, Creator, Ascended Masters, Archangels, Spirit Guides, my love, ancestors, and all beings of 100% pure white light, allow me to be a clear and open channel of your light and love without hesitation or ego. May the highest vibration of infinite consciousness connect with my higher self and release any and all things that no longer serve me. I ask that Saint Germain and his infinitely powerful violet flame burn away all the things that no longer serve myself or humanity and hold us back from our divine existence. Thank you, thank you, thank you for helping us to embody our intentions for the day and helping us raise the collective vibration for the highest and greatest good of all. Thank you, thank you, thank you for showing me the signs and synchronicities, and anyone else watching, may they get the messages that they need so they may walk in alignment with their highest good for the highest and greatest good of all. Thank you, thank you, thank you once again. So be it, and so it is. Okay, so let's talk about surrender, right? That's the topic today. So what is surrender? Surrender sounds like giving up, right? And so it's something in the spiritual community. There are certain words that when you make the association for yourself, it might be really hard to embody some of the advice, some of the ways that you are encouraged to step into a more spiritual or higher version of yourself, right? And surrender is one of those things, like just surrender, just trust. And yes, you need to surrender. Yes, you need to trust, but how do you do that in a practical way, right? So what is surrender? It's actually about the acceptance of responsibility over the things you are responsible for and releasing control over the things that you have no domain over. Therefore, the illusion of that control, right, you having the illusion of control on the things that you don't, is just adding to the guilt and shame that you feel when you can't solve the problem or when you can't come up with a solution to a situation that you have no control over. If you feel like you have control, or if you feel like you have to solve it yourself, then you are giving your power away because you are investing your energy and your power in something that has got nothing to do with you. Right? So let's talk about control for a moment. What can you not control? What are things that are out of your control? Let's just do a little reminder. So number one, you cannot control other people, right? You can't control other people, right? Yes, even your kids. Even your kids you can't control. Number two, what can't you control? You can't control the future. As much as you want to, no matter how intuitive or psychic or, in touch with humanity or the earth you are, you can't predict the future. You just can't, because it changes, it depends, energy shifts all the time. It is an evolving energy, right? It is an evolving experience, what we have here. So you can predict based on the current energies, but you can't actually know. So you cannot control the future, okay? Number three, what else can you not control? Mother Nature. You can't control Mother Nature. You can't control the weather. You can't control what things happen here on Earth, what nature does in any capacity. You can guess, you can predict, you can prepare for in whatever way you want to prepare, but you can't control it. So release control, right? So basically the control is anything outside of you, anything that you do not have specific domain over. And once again, that includes other people. You do not have control over other people. You do not have control over your kids. You do not have control over your life partner, your spouse, your siblings, your parents. You do not have control over other people, over other things. Each person has their own free will, right? That is a law of the universe. God, the energy, the source of all, made sure that each energy birthed has its own free will. It does what it wants, right? And so if God can't control it, you can't either. Just saying. Okay. What can you control? So what you can control is your reactions, right? You can control your reaction to things. And that takes work and it takes practice, but you can practice how you react to things and change how you react to things. You can control your boundaries, right? Now, I'm going to talk about boundaries very, very quickly here because I learned something about boundaries recently from Dr. Becky. I don't know if you guys know Dr. Becky. She's like a psychologist. She's a parent psychologist. She does kids and she does parents, really, because we're the ones that need the training to deal with our kids. Just saying. Anyway, But one of the things that Dr. Becky said about boundaries that changed the game for me, not just with my kids, but for myself, for my own knowledge, is that boundaries are something you do. They are not something that you tell someone else to do, right? So sometimes we as parents are like, if you don't turn off that TV in, 20 seconds, you're in trouble, right? And then the kids don't turn off the TV and, that's not a boundary. Them turning off the TV is not a boundary, right? Check out Dr. Becky. She explains this beautifully. You saying, if that TV does not go off in 30 minutes, then I will turn it off for you. That is a boundary. That is you stating what you're going to do, right? So this is what you can control. You can't control. I can't control my kid. As much as I'd like to, as much as we'd all like to, we can't control other people. But we can say, hey, if you do this, then this is what I will do. Because I don't talk to people who scream at me. I don't engage with people who are rude. Whatever your boundary is, you say, so if you continue to speak to me this way, I will walk out of the room. If you continue to treat me this way, I will, whatever, right? The consequence is the boundary, right? That the boundary is like, I will do all of this, but I will not do that, right? Like just the Meatloaf song, but I won't do that, right? You get to control what you won't do. And those boundaries are your responsibility. That is what you have control over. Your boundaries, your reactions, and how you react or take action when your boundaries are crossed, okay? What else can you control? Your choices. You can control your choices. And fourth, you can control your actions, right? So choices can sometimes be things that you decide in your head. So that's why actions are different. And actions are actions. Like what you decide to do about something, the action you take about something, that's within your control. All right? And so the Me First practice is about taking full responsibility of the things that you can control. And each of those things that you alone control is where you will find, gain, and build your foundation of power, your personal authority. And if I haven't said this before on the show, I'm going to say it right now because I feel very strongly about this. I think that every person, but especially women right now, and I speak as a woman, so if you're not a woman, you have a different opinion, that's okay too. But from my perspective as a woman, as a mom, I can tell you that part of our journey here on the planet right now is to step into our personal authority, because a lot of that authority has been taken away, has been removed, has been, or at least the illusion of that authority has been eliminated. But that authority still exists. We just need to step into it and regain our authority, regain our power, right? So I just wanted to state that. So your reaction and your choices, okay, we talked about the things that you can control, your reaction, your boundaries, your choices, and your actions, right? So your reaction and your choices are managed by your mindset. You have to practice shifting how you look at things and your energy around your choices, okay? This is done first and foremost by becoming crystal clear in the feeling you want to create and or cultivate and bring more of into your life, right? This is what I call the GPS word, right? So if you're looking for whatever it is that you're looking for in your life, you need to use that word, that sentence, that feeling as the filter through which you make all other decisions, right? You use that to filter your reaction. Is this reaction, in the spirit of my GPS word, whatever that word is, right? So once you're clear on that word, feeling, or energy that you want to experience most in your life, your entire practice becomes about how to bring more of that into your life, right? This doesn't happen magically with a simple intention, right? No matter how powerful that intention is, no matter how many tools you have, no matter if you do it during the solar eclipse or the full moon or whatever's happening, right? The intention alone is not going to do anything, okay? The only way that you shift things, the only way that your life changes is through practice, right? It's through action. It's through momentum. So whatever your word, feeling, or energy is that you're trying to capture, you need to figure out how you are going to lead with it, okay? You need to figure out how you're going to lead with that word, right? So let's just go. Your word is peace, okay? What you want most in your life is peace. God, we all need peace. right? So you need to go through these questions, right? How are you resolving your challenges peacefully? What are you facing right now? And are you making a peaceful choice in relation to that, right? Now, that does not necessarily mean you have to be peaceful. It means you have to move towards peace. So whatever action you need to take that will move you closer to peace, that's what you need to focus on, right? Also, ask yourself, what peaceful actions are you taking, right? What peaceful actions are you taking in your life? How can you become more peaceful? What does that look like? What does your life look like when you have peace? What kind of decisions do you make? What kind of actions do you take when you are feeling at peace? And of course, this last one, you need to ask yourself, what boundaries do you have in place to create more peace in life, right? What boundaries do you have to create around you, right? Because you want to protect your life, you want to protect your peace, you want to protect your family, your children, right? And so there may be boundaries that you have to put up and be like, within these walls, there will not be any of this. And if there is, then I will remove you, or I will remove myself, whatever that is, right? So I want you to think about, there is mindset, a lot of mindset work to this, right? And we talk about mindset work in taking responsibility for your choices and actions. But the next essential step, once you've sort of fixed that mindset, once you've adjusted your energy, the next step is to set boundaries and to take action that reflects and resonates what you want most out of your life. All right? So the mic is in a new place and I'm just trying this out. All right, let me know what you guys think and if you can hear it and if it works for you. I don't know. I'm trying. All right, so that being said, once you become clear on where actual responsibilities lie, so we went through that list, right? What are your responsibilities? Let's go back. Your reaction, your boundaries, your choices, your actions. Those are your responsibilities. So once you are clear on where your responsibilities lie, which we just discussed, right? Then you can release the unnecessary pressure and responsibility of trying to control the experiences or the outcomes that may result, right? Like if you don't have control over something, then what happens is not your fault. It may be something you have to deal with, but it is not your responsibility in the sense of you remove that guilt and shame about something happening, because things do happen, right? And if you make a choice that you are in total alignment with, and it is in the highest and greatest good as far as you know in that moment, and you make a choice you feel good about, and then further down the line something happens and something not awesome happens as a result of that choice, you cannot blame yourself for that, because life happens, things happen, and it's not always your fault. And sometimes, and very often, there is a much bigger picture, a much bigger energy, a much bigger purpose at play that you don't have control over, that has put you in the position that you're in. So at the end of the day, you can't control anything that happens to you, even if there is certain control there, okay? But I want you to think about it like whatever's happened up until now, there's nothing you can do. All you can do is change your reaction. All you can do is change your boundaries, your choices, and your actions, okay? All right, so now, I just want to tell you, like, how do you get through this, right? So you're faced with something you have to surrender. That sounds very easy. Like, okay, I've made sense, the things that you can control, the things that you can't control. But it's still really hard to release and surrender that control, because we have been conditioned to basically, take responsibility for everything that happens in our life, which, like I said, it's important to take responsibility for the things you have control over, but also to accept that there are things that you don't have control over, that you just need to react to, or set boundaries because of, or make choices or actions because of. All right? So when you get overwhelmed and really scared and things are going on and you just don't know where to turn, one of the things that I do that helps me when I'm feeling really overwhelmed or lost or scared about what's coming, and I've been in that situation several times in my life where I really was in a panic, as you guys can imagine, during the entire experience with Scott when he was sick, and then really as he got near the end of the illness, which I didn't know was the end, but during that time, I had to practice surrendering a lot. I had to practice trusting the divine, I had to practice. And so one of the things that I did was I created a mantra to repeat to myself over and over again. And I actually elaborated a little bit on the mantra here, and I'm going to share it with you because I would take pieces of this mantra whenever I really needed it, and I would just say it to myself over and over again, and it would help me get over that hump. So here's what I would say. I'm divinely guided and protected. I surrender, I surrender, I surrender. Thank you for helping me to release this fear and leading me down a path of ease. I trust that you will take care of everything for the highest and greatest good of everyone I love and all of humanity. And I like to put that in because, as someone who really pays attention to words, I want to make sure like the highest and greatest good of everyone I love is really important, but also humanity, right? And so sometimes I would just say I'm divinely guided and protected. Other times I would just be like, I surrender, I surrender, I surrender. Just take it. I don't know what to do. Just please take it away from me. And this is a relationship or a conversation that you can develop with your spiritual team, with God, with Jesus, with whoever it is that you turn to in those times of need. You can develop it with people who have passed on the other side that you feel close to. I talk to Scott all the time and ask him to take things off my plate. And because obviously of our relationship, it feels more real. I know he will take that off my plate. God sometimes feels too omnipotent, too big to feel like, well, why would he take care of my issues? But I know that Scott would take care of my issues because they're his too. So for me, it makes it easier to believe that I have an ally on the other side. You need to find your ally. You need to connect with your spiritual team, whether it's spirit guide, whether it's God, whether it's whatever it is for you. Connect with that spiritual team and just hand them the responsibility of the things you can't control because you can't control it anyway. So you might as well give it to them. All right, and then I want you to practice letting go. Say that mantra as many times as you need. Remind yourself as often as possible that things that happen are not a punishment, but a process to get us where we need to go. All we need to do is practice being the person we want to be in any and all circumstances. Sounds easy, right? And one day you will wake up and be that person. If every time you're faced with a challenge, if every time you are faced with a decision and you ask yourself, I want to be an abundant person. I want to be a peaceful person. I want to have whatever joy, whatever that word is, whatever that feeling is for you, then you need to ask yourself, how can I approach this from a peaceful way? And the more often you practice approaching things from a peaceful way, or whatever that word or feeling is for you, you will integrate it into your life. With each choice, with each action, you will be embodying that word, embodying that feeling. And there is no other choice but for that to be what ends up happening more and more in your life. It is what you create more of because that's where your focus is. Okay? So, that's it I'm going to talk about in surrender for today because I think that was a lot. And all I'm going to do right now is pull a card and give us a little bit, just a quick little energy of the day so you guys know how to face the day today, okay? And I'm going to use my Colette Baron Reed, the Enchanted Map deck, which I love. I use this all the time. And I'm just going to do a quick card pull, tell us what the energy is, and then we're going to wrap it up for today. And I will be back hopefully tomorrow because me first is when I can squeeze myself in sometimes. All right, so let's see what the universe has to say to us today. I'm going to send you off with this little energetic information, and we'll go on from there. Okay, here we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, energy. Here we go. Okay, so the card that came up today is Solitude, which is really interesting. It's card number 13 for those of you who follow the numbers. And 1 and 3 is 4. So numerologically speaking, this card can mean something either from the 13 or from the 4. But the card is Solitude. And when this card comes up, what this tells me is it represents sort of meditation. It represents going within. And that's perfectly aligned with what we talked about today, because we're talking about surrender and control. And the only way that you can truly understand what is within your control is by looking at your life, going within, and really looking at things for what they are in all earnestness. Like I said, without guilt, without shame. Stop processing things through your family or through society's lens, and go within and really think for yourself, where do I really have control here in this thing in my life, with this challenge in my life? What part of it can I truly control, and what can I do? What is in my capacity? What is in my capability? Right? Because you may think you're able to do something, but you don't have the capacity for it. And it's been a really interesting journey for myself, because I am not the same as I used to be, and I may evolve into even a different version of myself further down the road. But I can tell you that there are certain things that I just don't have the capacity for anymore, where I used to have the capacity. And that can, sure, it could be an age thing, it could be a life thing, and a grief thing, most definitely, right? But all of those things, all of those reasons or excuses, people may call them excuses, they are valid, they are real. If you are struggling, or your kids are struggling, or your spouse is struggling, and sometimes you can look at people and be like, you should be able to do this, right? And we look at ourselves all the time and say, I should be able to do this, I should be able to do that. But sometimes you can't, because you don't have the capacity to do it in that moment. Does it mean you'll never be able to do it and you should just give up? No. It means you have to practice. This card tells me, go within and ask yourself, where do you need to practice? What is the part of yourself that you want to practice the most, that will bring you closest to that feeling, to that word, to that experience that you want in your life so desperately? So take some time and think about that for yourself, and really take some time to go within today. That is the energy of the universe. That is what it's telling you. And I've just learned to listen. When the universe tells me to do something, you gotta listen. That's why I'm here today, because the universe said, get on that, do your show. So I'm here, and I plan to come back as much as possible. I hope you enjoyed this show today. I want to thank you so much for your participation. Please remember that if you need support with any of this, I do have sessions available. I'm absolutely here to support you. Just send me a DM on any of my social medias. Send me a comment through the video, whatever you need. We'll get in touch, and I will help you through whatever challenges you're going through. And if not, just keep watching. I will keep giving you tips and strategies, and I will show up and, I was going to say metaphorically hold your hand, but I guess metaphorically hold your hand through whatever it is you're going through. I promise you, you've got this. You can do it. All right. Have a great day. Love you all, and I'll see you.